Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to answer a question that I get asked quite often on my social media, and it's how did I know that it was time for me to become a mother, especially because I was that young, and if I ever regret starting a family that young. So just to give you a little bit of background if you are new to the channel, hello, thank you for joining. I got married when I was 21 years old, and I had Jake at 23, Benjamin at 24, and Maxie was just born 2 months ago, and I'm 28. I got engaged when I was 20 years old to Gary, love of my life, hey baby, and he proposed after 2 months, which was insane. We were engaged for a year before we got married. Some of you might know we have a really big age difference. We are 18 years apart, and that's a little like controversial for people, but that's why I wanted to kind of go back and talk a little bit about how I got to a point where I decided that getting married at 21 was the right decision for me. So I started my adult life when I was 16 years old. That's when I started my professional career as a model, and that really started taking me to places around the world. I had the opportunity to live in France and in Tokyo. I traveled to London and Germany and Spain, and I had incredible opportunities. I also met some amazing people throughout my career, but what I kind of trying to get to is the fact that I was exposed to the big world in a very early stage in my life when I was still kind of forming, and that really made me mature very quickly. I was traveling on my own. I didn't have, a mommy to cry to or someone to protect me from bad people or bad situations. So I really had to be very aware of my surrounding, very aware of myself, making sure that I make the right decisions. So I really had to kind of constantly be on guard and constantly make sure that I am on the right path. That's something that really matured me emotionally. Because I was traveling alone, I was alone all the time, I really got to learn more about myself and who I am and what I want to be and who I want to become. And I had the opportunity to do a lot of those things when I was that young. That kind of already skipped me to a whole other place in my life emotionally and with the way I think and make decisions. So at the age of 16, 17, 18, I already felt like I'm very much advanced compared to other people my age. I was also always around older people. I got really lucky to be exposed to all of these things, and I got to take a little bit of something from everyone and everywhere I went. So when I reached the age of 20, I wasn't your typical 20-year-old. I was already very much financially independent. I started making my own money at 16. I was living on my own. I was paying rent. I was in charge of my finance. I was doing a lot of things that people my age weren't doing. I definitely wasn't at a point where I was thinking about getting married or having children. Then at the age of 20, I moved to Canada, to Toronto, to join my mother. Shortly after that, I moved to New York for work. When I moved to New York, I came to visit my mother once a month or so, and one of those times I met Gary. With Gary, because I was at a point in my life where I was complete on my own and I wasn't looking for someone to save me, that when I did meet Gary, I knew that this is the right person for me. Even with our age difference and all these kind of things that I guess should have stopped me in a way from going after this relationship, it didn't, because I truly felt like it's so simple. This is it. This is the base to the overall starting a family and becoming a wife and a mother this young. Have I ever felt like I'm missing out on things? Maybe sometimes, but I knew that there were insignificant things. It wasn't anything that kind of made me break down. So if my girlfriends were jet setting while I was 8 months pregnant, I wasn't miserable about it because I did so much of it before, and I also knew that I'm gonna do that after too. I already been there, done that, so I wasn't chasing that anymore. I got to a point where I felt like I needed to kind of progress in my life. It was very confident with the decisions that I made in my life, and I was very confident that I was on the right path and on the right track. I'm very happy that you trusted your intuition, Valeria. Good for you. You did good. The decision to get married and have kids really stemmed from just feeling ready and very grounded, and I felt like I have a strong enough base of me as, you know, an individual, not with a partner, not with Gary, just me by myself. I knew that I'm ready for that next stage. So a lot of girls tell me how they really want to be young mothers and they want to start their families, and I think that it's so important to stress that you have to first discover the world on your own. You have to first figure out who you are, what do you want. It's going to be a process. You're going to be changing with every year that goes by, but having that strong base of, you know, the person that you are, being in tune with your emotion, understand who you are, is very important before you start layering all these like grown-up responsibilities on yourself, because that puts so much weight on your shoulders, and you want to make sure that you're strong enough to carry it all. You really don't see a lot of the hard work that goes into parenting and being a wife. Today, I think it's even harder with being a modern woman because we want it all. We want to have careers and we want to have our degrees and we want to go work and make money and we want to raise children and we want to have 4 kids and we want to travel and we want a lot of things. When we started having kids and building a family, I was also very, very vocal about the fact that I never want to lose the sense of who I am. It was very important for me that Gary knows that Valeria comes first to Valeria, because if I lose that sense of myself, I won't be able to be the wife or the mother that I wanted to be. All of these lessons and the fact that I knew to demand this from the get-go, it really all came from just realizing and getting in tune with myself and getting to know myself better. And I think that's so important. It doesn't matter how old you are. I think before anything else, before you add any more people to take care of and any more things on your plate, you have to master that. That's really it. I don't think there's a right age to do anything. I think it's just that feeling of like, okay, I'm rooted, I'm grounded, I understand who I am, and now I'm ready to add more here. Not here. And now I'm ready for the next phase in my life. A lot of the young girls that follow people on Instagram, you know, they really see all these beautiful moments of smiling children and hugging and laughing and dancing. There's a lot of those, but there's a lot of really scary moments. There's a lot of moments where you question yourself constantly because you are trying to raise people that will enter society soon, and they better not make that society worse. I think that as a young mother, you always feel like you're not doing something right, but with every child and, you know, having now more mommy friends, I understand that it doesn't matter what age you have a kid, you always feel like you're not doing something right. Motherhood is the hardest, by far the hardest thing there is out there. It puts you in such a vulnerable situation. You always feel guilty, you always feel scared, you always don't know what you're doing. So it's very important to have a very strong, how do you call it, backbone? Is that what people say? If you're a young girl watching this video and you are just waiting for the day you get married and start your own family, that's super amazing. I'm so excited for you, and this will happen for you. But take advantage of this time that you have right now. Go out there and do things, gather experiences and knowledge and information, and meet as many people as you can, and put yourself in situations where you will learn more about yourself. All of that will really prepare you and put you in such a great position to start your grown-up life. So do that, go out there, take over the world, and then continue with the rest. when you become a mother, when you become a wife, you can no longer be selfish. I mean, you can be selfish, I'm still selfish, but not in that like real selfish way. Be that, do that now, be selfish. This is your time to do it and be it. Enjoy every single second of it. Because once you have kids, being selfish comes with a ball of guilt this size. This is really it. I know that there's quite a bit of young moms that do follow me, so I really wonder what made you feel that you were ready for a child, or if you got married young, what made you feel like you were ready for that kind of commitment. Or if you didn't have kids yet and you're, let's say, married for a few years now, what stops you from starting a family right away? It's a very interesting discussion and I'm super interested to hear your opinions. I'm kind of happy to go back to videos where I just sit and chat with you and then you guys kind of give me your input and opinions in the comments. I feel like it really connects us and we can like talk about a lot of different subjects. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you guys next time.